Yo, what's going on, familiar? Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button because you are not going to want to miss one of these videos about From that comes out in this channel. And if you have been rocking with us from season 1, you already know. Every single episode, we getting deeper, we getting harder. And tonight, fam, we need to talk. Because episode 2 of season 4 titled Fray just shifted something. And I don't mean shifted like a little. I mean the entire foundation of how we understand this show just cracked open. So buckle up, get comfortable, turn notifications on, and let's get into it. And real quick before we go on, if you have not watched episode 2 yet, this is your warning. Full spoilers from this point on. Go watch it, come back, and then let's break this thing down piece by piece. Alright, so I know most people who do videos are going to start talking about Jim, and we are going to get to Jim, but I want to start somewhere that I think people are sleeping on, and that is Ethan Matthews. Because the way the episode ends with Ethan standing outside near the RV and Jim just appearing in front of him, that is not just touching family moment. That is the show trying to tell us something massive about Ethan's role in this upcoming season. Jim tells him, and pay close attention to this, he says, remember the dream you had when you first arrived. Ethan immediately knows what his father is talking about, the Lake of Tears. Now that detail right there, we have to sit back and take a second to look at it. Because in past seasons, we have seen Ethan describe visions and dreams that nobody around him ever took seriously. His mom, as much as we all love Tabitha, keeps brushing it off. And I get it. She's been through the ringer. She's got to go out the lighthouse window. She woke up in Maine. She has seen things that would shatter most people. But at some point, you have to start trusting your kid who keeps getting everything right. Here's what stood out to me about that scene. Jim kept on glancing into the tree line, like he was aware that something was nearby. Something he does not want to attract or he does not want Ethan to see. Now, he's not trying to run and he's not trying to scare Ethan at this time. He's not trying to lure him somewhere that is dangerous, talking about Ethan. He is being careful. He's being protective. Now, that does not seem like a trap to me. And if Jim was the man in yellow like people have tried to say, that's what he'd be trying to do. But that felt like a man who was somewhere stuck in between worlds, trying to pass a message to his kid before the window closes, or what's looking at him closes in. Him disappearing the exact same way they showed Julie disappear does give me some Story Walker vibes there, but we have never seen other ghosts like Father Carchery or Dead Tom actually make contact with Boyd or Jade. So it's definitely something a little bit different going on here with Jim than there is on these other ghosts. Alright, so now it's time to talk about our boy Jimbo, because his loss is what is the most important thing in this episode. Episode 1 set this up. Jim died in another timeline, and I told you that this was the case. I got a lot of pushback in the comments section, but we can see that this is a different timeline other than the one Julie Story walked into. He took his final breath with the man in yellow standing over top of him, basically celebrating, because in the current timeline, Jim's body turns up in the barn, and written on the wall behind him, knowledge comes at a cost. Now we can see that in the barn, Jim's stomach was ripped open. But when Julie ran into him, it was his throat that was ripped open. So this is exactly what I said. The original death of Jim is something we have never seen, and now we have finally seen it. And I told you that most likely he died a different way, and this proves that. Now we gotta think about what knowledge Tabitha and Jade just acquired. They figured out that they lived through previous cycles of this town, that they have been there before, as different people under different names, Christopher and Miranda. That's their revelation. It cost Jim his life. The town, or whatever intelligence runs this place, responded to that discovery by taking him out. You want answers? Fine. But every answer you get, you have to pay a price. And sometimes the price is someone you love. Now here's what makes it worse. Jim's actor is still credited in the upcoming episodes. 5 more appearances reportedly. So the question is that Jim as a ghost, Jim in flashbacks, or is there a version of Jim that is still alive somewhere in the story? Because Julie can't let this go. And honestly, I do not blame her. When we seen the bag being lowered, and we all thought at this time that it was going to be Jim inside of that bag, we then find out that it's not Jim, that it's heads of goats. And we'll get back to the heads of the goats in the theory section. But segment 3 is all about Julie's story walking and why it matters more than ever. Let's pivot to Julie, because her arc this episode is probably the heaviest load anybody has to lift. After Jim's death spreads through the community, Julie does not sit down and cry. She goes to Randell, tells him she needs to go back to the ruins through the arches. She needs to story walk again. Randell is hesitant, and you can understand why this man would be so. But he understands that Julie is going to do this with or without him, so he agrees to go with her up in that piece. What Julie is hoping for, consciously or not, is to go back and save her father, to see him again. Maybe even find a way to pull him back into this timeline. But here's the thing, the man in yellow told her in episode 1 that she cannot change a story once it has already been told. Julie has already proven that that is not entirely true. She saved Boy when he was stuck in the well, so that proves that she can affect certain things. Question is truly, is Jim's story already locked in? Is he already dead? Or whether there is still a sliver of timeline where it hasn't happened yet. This show has not closed that door all the way, and I think that might be intentional. This is what makes Julie potentially the most dangerous and important wild card on the board. She is not just a witness to the past, she can move right through it. And we've seen she tested it with Randell first, I think just to make sure that Randell could not do this ability. So we know that even though Julie, Randell, and Marielle all went through the same thing, it seems that Julie is the only one that got this ability to story walk. And while she was out there and the monsters did attack her and grab her, we could see there clearly that she was able to get affected by the monsters until she was pulled out. So it seems that every time that she disappears, as we've seen her do when she was with the man in yellow, someone is pulling her body physically out of the ruins, and that is how she disappears. Now, she needs somebody to constantly do this, and she needs to spread this information with people. But we've seen her travel back in time, and she did scream her father's name. He did not hear her at the time, but the monster did. I thought that she was going to get the slash on her face from this monster. She grabbed her by the face, but that is not where it happened at. So we have to look at what's next for Julie, and we'll do that in a little bit. Segment 4, Sophia is the man in yellow. So now what's she gonna do? Okay, let's get into this, because this show did not drag this mystery out, and the Don respects that. Sophia is the man in yellow. By the end of episode 1, it was already clear, and episode 2 just leans into this. We watch Sophia walk out of the infirmary in the middle of the night, right in the open where the creatures roam. Kenny catches her and hauls her back inside. She is sobbing, telling him that her father is dead. Her father, the pastor she initially just killed by touching his chest and ending it from the inside out. And here is what's so unsettling about this story. Everybody in this town seems to trust her. Kenny is so worried about her. I'm saying he's moved by her grief because they share that in common, their fathers passing away. These people are so consumed by Jim's death and everything else is falling apart right around them, and they're not stopping to ask obvious questions. Like, how did the pastor actually die? How does the pastor have a daughter? Things like that they should pick up on, they are not picking up on. And that is exactly what the man in yellow planned. Remember what he said at the end to the pastor in episode 1. His favorite part was about to begin. His favorite part is watching the residents tear themselves apart. Not the creatures doing the violent, the people doing it to each other. He plants himself inside the community, strokes mistrust, amplifies fear, and then lets the chaos do all the work for him. Now, can a talisman stop her? We've seen Sophia casually touch a talisman hanging in the window like it was nothing. No reaction, which means the magic that keeps the night creatures out does not apply to her whatsoever. And there is no electricity jolt that goes into her and makes her stop doing this. Because we've seen other monsters also take the talisman and throw it on the floor. So what does that mean? Are the talismans really tools that keep the monsters out? Or are they just tools to keep the game going? Segment 5. Tabitha and Jade. Jade is obsessed, and understandably so, with the idea that he and Tabitha are repeating another cycle. The knowledge they uncovered about the Ankui children and the cycles of the town, the knowledge that actually cost Jim his life, he is carrying that guilt. The town has responded to their own discovery by taking someone close to them, and Tabitha is blaming Jade for the whole thing, and not herself, she was down with going out there and playing that violin, but she don't want to hold that weight, so she pushes it on Jade. So we truly look at whatever runs this machine felt that message needed at this time to be sent, written literally in Jim's death. That would suggest Jade and Tabitha are actually getting close enough to scare whatever is running this whole situation. And that might be the most hopeful and terrifying thing that we have seen in this show so far. Now I want to spend a minute on my boy Boyd, because his arc in this episode is subtle, but it's definitely saying something. Boyd has always been one to try to hold things together. Season after season, this dude is the glue, the sheriff, the protector, the guy who keeps the community from completely imploding. But this season, something is shifting on the inside. And episode 2 makes this pretty visible. The way he shuts down what happened with Elgin and Fatima, straight up cold, controlled, calculated. He is not processing anymore. Right now he is managing. And there's a difference between a leader who keeps people calm and a leader who starts deciding what information people deserve to hear. And then there's the Acosta situation. My favorite character, Acosta, absolutely spiraling out, trying to make a run for it in the ambulance. Boyd arrests her. And it's not done with warmth. It's done with authority. The old Boyd would have sat with Acosta, talked her through it. The season 4 Boyd is operating from a place of control. And the question we have to ask, is that strength, or is it the beginning of a mental breakdown? I want to go on the record right now and state this clear as day. I am worried about Acosta, but I'm also worried about Kenny. This guy has been the Rock since season 1. He's loyal, he's capable, he cares deeply about the people around him, but everything has been piling up. And this episode, he is the one who ends up the closest to Sophia without having any idea who she actually is. And I always thought that Kenny was safe in this show all the way to the end. And I'm not going to say he's going to make it through it unscathed, but right now, I genuinely just don't know what they're going to do to Kenny when this is all said and done. Because if Sophia's game is to dismantle this community by getting people to turn on each other, then someone who is trusted, respected, and deeply connected to the community's emotional core, someone like Kenny, would be an extremely valuable target, either as a victim or as someone manipulated into doing something he cannot come back from. And listen, it's not out of range that she turns into Kenny after she kills him. I'm just saying, it's a possibility. Segment 8, Sarah and Sophia. Let's bring Sarah into this because she's another piece of the puzzle that I think is being overlooked. Sarah has her own complicated history with things this town has shown her, messages she has received, voices she has heard, and now here comes Sophia, playing the role of the grieving newcomer, embedded herself right into the heart of this community with no problems at all. But does Sarah sense something is off? These two characters are operating in overlapping spaces. Sarah has experience with being manipulated by forces she doesn't really understand. If anyone in this town might eventually clock that Sophia is not who she's supposed to be, I believe that it would be Sarah. And her going inside and Sophia looking at the statue of the ballerina. And we know that it was the ballerina that Boyd seen when he dealt with the music box. It seems like all these things that come up in these dreams may or originated in the storage room that we see right there. The storage room of the Lonely Dragon. My theories and predictions for episode 3. Acosta or Elgin going in the box. Now we have heard Boyd straight up say that he was willing to put Elgin in the box, and also to say that he was the one that killed Tully, to make up a bold-faced lie to get that man in the box. But we know that the rules of the box is if you put somebody in danger in town, this is your sentence. And we see Acosta go through this whole situation where basically this chick did jump in the ambulance and it was not her fault. She did not ask her to get in, but it could be perceived that she did put someone in danger. And she may just be at the mental breaking point where she wants to go in the box like we see Frank already do it. So will one of those people go into the box? I think something bad is going to happen to one of these people. I'm not sure who, but I think the box could be what it's all about. The black goat head. A black goat head typically symbolizes the occult, duality, and the sabbatic goat, representing a blend of dark power, fertility, and the reconciliation of opposite, light, dark, male, female. And it was popularized in 1856 and is often used in modern Satanism as a symbol of rebellion, individuality, and forbidden knowledge. And I think that they're trying to make you think that this has something to do with the devil, but I think it's really about forbidden knowledge, because when we got that goat head is when we got the message. With knowledge, it comes at a cost, that whole situation that we got. So I think it's more leaning towards that, but they're going to put down there and make you think that it has something to do with the devil. In the end, it's not going to. Next prediction I have is Sophia causing conflict when it's all said and done. So my money is her finding a way to get people to point fingers at each other over Jim's death, or Acosta trying to escape. In fact, I could see her pouring gasoline if she somehow gets in contact with Elgin to get him to fess up, and when it all is said and done, get Boyd taken out of power if Acosta and him do not get put in the box, allowing Acosta to take power. I could see something like that. My next prediction would be Jade finds something to Christopher and Miranda that puts him and Tabitha in direct danger. The town does not like people getting too close to the origin story, and these two people are getting too close, and I think they're going to try, and I mean try. They try to get these people out of there. I think my next prediction will be Boyd's grip on the community tightens. I think that may be his downfall, that he may just try to grip this a little bit too hard, and then that's when the people and everybody turns on him. And again, I think that Ethan is going to get Victor, and he is going to go off and find the Lake of Tears, or look into Victor's room and see pictures that remind him of that. That's my predictions. I have a lot more theories. I'll give them to you in another video because this video is going on way too long. If you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this course around, and of course subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.